Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I had the pleasure of speaking with Bradley Hall. He is a fellow YouTuber. He makes comedy-oriented metal videos, and we spoke a little bit about why he actually favors making videos over making music, and about some potential scams coming from some different artists. Are they scams? Are they just mistakes? Let's find out. What do you plan on doing with YouTube? What's your goal? Why even keep doing
it? Why even keep doing it? So I don't really have any I guess everyone wants to get to 1 million subs. That would be fantastic. But at the rate I'm going, it's going to take quite a while, unless I have some sort of unprecedented surge in growth. Well,
I've already given up all hopes of that shit, man. That's long gone for me.
I had one initially, just after my channel started taking off, but since then it's been pretty steady. I haven't had any crazy big spouts of growth like some channels have. But I guess that's good. It's good for your channel health, I guess, to grow steadily rather than just being all like that all the time. Just to be able to sustain an okay living off doing what I love. It's enough for me.
So you just legit love making these hilariously dorky little fucking snippets, just being like, yeah.
I feel like I've got. It took me a while to find my place, but I've got my own little stupid thing going on now. People seem to like it, so why not just run with it until everyone hates it?
I feel like it's the natural evolution from the Jared Dyenses and the Kmacs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I guess now they're both not really uploading anymore, are they? Neither of them. So I guess people still want that sort of stuff, I suppose. So here I am.
I feel like also based upon the music that I'm pretty sure you like listening to and the music that they like listening to, seeing the different personalities come out of the comedy that you choose to do and the way that you edit and everything, it's actually kind of interesting because I feel like you take a more, I should say you take a less cynical edge. You feel a lot less cynical in your videos. And I feel like Kmac, even though they're hilarious, has a bit more cynicism to them.
Yeah, I might try to keep mine a bit more lighthearted, kind of like Monty Python. That's sort of just silly humor, not too serious. And yeah, another reason why I started the channel was because a lot of the bigger YouTubers at the time when I was getting into it, were all American, like yourself and Jared and Stevie Canadian and Nick. I think they're Canadian, right?
Yes. Steve, which Nick?
Nocturnal.
Oh yeah, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
The deepest Canadian voice I've ever heard in my life. There's no way with that voice you were actually Canadian. You moved.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to make the distinction, but yeah, when it comes to people in the UK, we don't really make a distinction between Americans and Canadians. It's sort of a muchness. Sorry.
You mean people living in proto-America don't make much of a distinction? I'm gonna hammer that one home. I'm gonna make that a thing.
So I just wanted to do something a little bit more British, I guess, or European, whichever way you want to look at it. Just a slightly different sense of humor. And I'm not really so much into the sort of core stuff like a lot of those guys are into. I'm taking it sort of approach it more from the sort of traditional metal sort of edge, I suppose.
So let me guess, you didn't have rich parents.
No.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Fuck exactly.
Not at all.
I guarantee you 100% that is a thing.
You reckon? What, cool kids having well-off parents, really?
Dude, if you knew the communities that a lot of these core kids who are randomly exploding on the internet right now, it's oh, they have all the talent in the world. It's yeah, they also had all of the fucking money growing up. At least a lot of them did. Not all of them, but there's a shitload of rich kids that come out of that fucking community, and the ones that really have all of the best fucking gear, can shred the fastest. It a lot of times comes from, I mean, I hate using the word privilege, but honestly it is. It comes from a place of privilege.
All right. No, I grew up playing absolute pieces of shit. it's literally only within the past 3 years I've had relatively good gear. I've got a Kemper now and a couple of nice high-end-ish guitars. But before that, I was playing absolute fucking train wreck guitars.
Do you legit like Kemper?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my enthusiasm's wane with it a little bit. I kind of want to try out one of those quad cortex things. They look kind of cool. But I mean, it suits my needs fine, and I like it because it's powered as well, so I can take it to rehearsals and gigs and stuff.
No, that is great about
Right.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking my thing with Kemper, and I don't want to get too far into gear,
Mm.
but my thing with Kemper is the effects,
Yeah.
and
Agreed.
you have to try out a bunch of good what do you call them, amp, that's not modeling, is it?
Profiles.
Profiles, yes. You have to
Yeah.
try out a bunch of profiles to know which ones are like legit, because like I've heard so many horror stories of like, oh yeah, this is how these profiles sound, and then you download it and plug it in, you're like, it sounds nothing nothing at all like you showed me whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I just get recommendations of friends because I don't know anything about tones. I mean, I don't really have much of an ear for that stuff.
I
So
totally get that,
I'm just
man.
like a sort of plug in and play sort of guy. So I get people who know what they're talking about to give me the good shit, and then I just take what I like.
Dude, after this last experience making Betrayal, I learned that I'm like, I have so much more to learn about tone. And
Hmm.
because the tones that I really liked for the amp sims that Casey was using, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the happy place. He's like, I don't know, like it's sure, it sounds fine, but like it doesn't have that fucking to it. He's like, try this one, and he threw up the Joey Sturgis Jason Richardson
Hmm.
plugin. I was like, I hate this. I fucking hate this. Apparently, I've heard there's a lot of producers who are not a fan of that plugin.
Okay.
But Casey's like, okay, whatever. Like we recorded with the ones that I liked, but then he went back and mixed it with the Jason Richardson one, and it sounded great.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it doesn't matter how it plays necessarily. It's how it sounds in the mix. And
Yes.
and
Very
that's
true.
where I'm like, I thought I had a better ear for that, and apparently I still have quite a bit to learn. But also, it depends upon your mixing strategy as well as everything.
Yeah, I mean, like the way I do it is I have my templates and profiles and shit that I use for making content and like sort of demos and stuff. But when it comes to actually proper recordings and stuff, I just record DI and let somebody who knows what they're doing and reamp it and stuff. So
you have
that's fine
you
enough
have
for me.
a team of people who know what they're doing.
I've got a couple of guys who are like really into their tones and mixing and stuff, so I sort of trust them.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. You had mentioned in our little pre-chat here that making original music is not your number one. You're doing YouTube for the sake of YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. I'm probably part of the rare breed that actually enjoy making videos and editing and all that laborious stuff. I probably enjoy making videos a tiny bit more than music, so maybe like 60-40 videos to music. But like I said to you earlier, sometimes I get the sort of the itch to get all artistic and make some music. But,
I think it shows, man, in the videos, because like you actually make legit, interesting, fun videos to watch, not just
mhm.
listen to. And I mean, I'm definitely falling prey to the more listen to side than look thing. I'm not visually inclined
Mhm.
in any substantial way. What inspires you to make a video? Is it just the making the video itself?
Um, a few sources. Like I have a big old notepad document full of video ideas throughout the years. Sometimes I pick those if like the well's a bit dry. Or if I'm just browsing through YouTube and I see something, like sometimes I see something on like non-music channels, like a cool concept, and sort of translate that over to the guitar metal realm or whatever. Um, and other times it's just sort of just drawing from experiences throughout the years. Like a lot of my videos are sort of like drawing on things that have happened to me, either like gigging or going to see bands or I don't know, going to guitar lessons or just like stupid shit that's happened to me in the past and just sort of taking that and blowing it up, like exaggerating it a bit into like a sort of little skit or something.
I'm trying to picture Bradley Hall on stage. Like with all of the videos that I've seen of yours, I'm trying to picture you just like wildly jumping like a fucking Monty Python madman, throwing your tongue around. Like I feel like you would be awesome on stage.
It depends on the sort of music I'm playing. Because I love all the shred stuff and like techie stuff, but I don't really like to play that live too much because I don't really like to be rooted to the spot and like with my head down, like concentrating, and, like being afraid I'm gonna fuck up or whatever. I mean, I used to have a band where I did that sort of stuff, and that's fine. It was still fun. But I like music where I can just sort of just piss around. Like I'm in a covers band that we just play some bars and stuff locally, and nothing fancy, but that's super fun. You can just have a load of beers and just throw my guitar around, piss around. It's good fun.
Living in Nashville has taught me to have a lot more appreciation for a good cover band, man.
Mm-hmm.
We have arguably some of the best of them in the country here. Like some
the live music scene in Nashville is supposed to be like legendary, right? From what I hear.
I would say it's the best in the world. I don't think you can find a better city for music in general anywhere in the world than Nashville.
Is it like quite a mix? Because I sort of always imagine a particular kind of music in Nashville, so sort of like country tinge, kind of like super American rock kind of thing.
I say, yeah, you can say country, it's fine. You're not going to insult anyone. Yeah. So the singer-songwriter country thing is definitely the most prevalent, but I mean, especially in the last 10 years, the scenes for every single genre has been bubbling up more and more and more. It's pretty incredible, honestly. I was blown away by just the variety, let alone it's so rare you see a bad band here. And even when you do, it's just funny more than anything. I also just love being able to go anywhere and have a conversation with anyone about music. I wouldn't be able to have a substantive conversation about music in most other places in the world, frankly,
What I find interesting about country is like how it's so fucking huge in America, but like it just doesn't really exist anywhere else in the world.
It's because we're
especially
stupid.
like over here in the UK, like nobody knows anything about country. It's like maybe occasionally you get like a song cross over into the charts, but not very often.
From what I've seen of people who come here for like CMA Fest and shit, it's like not very big outside of America, right? But the people that love it outside of America are the hardcore, insane country fans, like fucking delusions of grandeur of being a cowboy in the fucking West or a rancher or some shit. And just like, you don't know what you're getting into, man. It is rough out there.
I can imagine it's one thing to listen to it and another thing to like live it. Can only imagine what it's like there.
Yeah, fucking welcome to the privileged status of American First World. Fucking A. It's one thing to consume it with your eyes secondhand. It's another thing to actually have to like, oh, you mean I have to grow this wheat so that I can mill it and then make my bread? Fucking.
Something else I've observed as well, like throughout the years, is that a lot of like high-profile guitarists always seem to like go through a country phase later in life. Have you noticed that? all these shred guitarists, they seem to have like maybe like a year or two where they just get massively into country and like they're all about that for a while. It's quite strange.
So at first I found it strange with Zakk Wylde, but then like knowing that now and then going back, you're like, oh, it was there the whole time. It was just veiled behind metal. It was actually pretty fucking cool. I actually grew to appreciate Zakk Wylde a lot more because of that. Because I was like, the fuck you doing all this soft fucking Southern rock shit? Although he feels way more natural when he's not doing metal or hard rock. I think he feels very natural in his Southern rock thing. Mm-hmm. But then I go back and like I listen to No More Tears and I'm like, oh, that whole verse is the fucking slide. It's just fucking hillbilly guitar. But it's the meanest, most metal fucking tone. It's just such a, it's a dank riff. Fuck.
Yeah. Isn't like the intro to, is it Mama I'm Coming Home has it all like sort of country lick at the start, isn't it? Like,
yes. The fucking 12 string, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Skynyrd shit. For sure. Oh, we got way off topic of YouTube. I shouldn't have stopped the conversation. It's gonna take me forever to get used to fucking figuring out the flow of this stuff and being more natural about it.
It's really hard to stay on point. I know.
But we were in a good little flow state, and I was just like, hey, by the way, here's a boulder.
As long as the conversation's good, who cares? I guess it's only an issue when you have like tight time constraints.
Oh yeah, fucking good point. I'm personally not so concerned about that. There's a better way to segue into this. What do you think is a good segue, Bradley? What do you think? We'll
Fuck knows, man. I would do it in editing. I wouldn't worry about it now.
We were mentioning in the pre-show about how your channel, in order to be successful, has to be really focused in order to know what to recommend your audience.
Yeah.
And I think I had said I'm really disappointed that that's how the algorithm kind of works fundamentally. It very much disincentivizes creativity. I've been trying to branch out for a long time, and it took me forever just to get off of like, I play a song and I talk about it and blah, blah, bitch, just to not have any other video associated with things. It took me a while just to get that to smoothly work. And now if I want to go into something else completely, like something more video essay, nope. YouTube pretends that no one wants to watch that. Not that my audience could be interested in something different from me, but literally no one wants to watch it. Like, oh, your audience didn't want to watch it. It's because you didn't tell them it was made. You didn't tell them it was uploaded, dude. So if your metric is, we don't think your audience wants to watch this, and then your next metric after the initial one is, well, I mean, we are only going to serve it up to other people if your audience cared about it in the first. You didn't serve it to my audience. Like, it's a trap. It's a trap that basically pulls you into one kind of content. Now, I mean, based upon what you've told me, that doesn't seem like as much of a problem for you because you just love doing what you're doing. But like, I'm trying to grow into different spaces and different types of videos and shit.
Definitely has been a problem for me in the past. I mean, for my first couple of years on YouTube, I was uploading like a big variety of stuff, and like my growth was all over the place, and like my views were all over the place. Like one video would get like 100k, another one would get like 5k. You know, it was just fucking all over the shop. And I sort of like gradually narrowed it down to just sort of doing memes and skits with like a bit of guitar playing here and there, and that sort of seems to work. But like you said, like it definitely does discourage experimentation. I guess not creativity, but experimentation is probably a better word. Whenever you want to do something different to what you usually do, like you said, it's just rarely works. Sometimes you get lucky, but usually not.
Like every once in a while, you're inspired to do something other than what you do all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that shouldn't be punished.
Yeah, because I have a video that we wanted to do for ages about like the state of the music industry right now, and like and how people in the rock and metal world just like haven't adapted or don't want to adapt. Like that has nothing to do with the content that I upload normally. If I upload that, it'll get like, you know, fuck all views. But I feel like it's a video I really want to make, which is really annoying. So like the best thing to do technically would be stick it on another channel, but I don't know, it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, do you really want to take the time to get a whole other channel set up, do all the fucking graphics for it, upload it, and like you're just like, okay, I just made this for me that no one's gonna see, you know?
Yeah,
it's even the point then, right?
Yeah, I mean it's annoying because the way YouTube works now, it's like you release a video and it tests it to like your core audience, like the people who always watch your stuff no matter what it is. If it does well with them, then they'll release it to more people. But if it just flops, like if your initial audience doesn't click it, is not interested, or like watches only a little bit of it, then YouTube is just like, no, this video probably sucks. You know, even if it's an amazing video, it's really frustrating. So
extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
You were saying about like in your earlier stages, it was like all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's not inherently the worst thing. That's kind of Dovidos's strategy, actually. You familiar with Dovidos?
Yeah, he does like videos, like I guess you could call it busking, but it's like sort of high effort
he does busking.
Right?
Yes, he has refined the busking game.
Yeah.
Dude, he has the fucking sweetest setup. Like literally, he can go do a busking gig for 3 hours, and he can get like a month's worth of content out of that, of daily content. That's insane.
I wouldn't be confident enough to do that. Like, guy must have fucking big balls.
Yes. No, yes. That's the other cool thing. That's another thing that I was like talking to him about, like, dude, like, I don't know that I would be able to do this and put myself out there because every single one is an improv. Every single one is from the ground up. And he's like, yeah, put the whole thing out there. keep it real. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's big balls.
Yeah.
It's really big fucking balls, man.
Yeah.
But it's partly that, and he has that whole attitude and ethos, which is great. But then also he is literally like minigun suppressive firing the YouTube algorithm with just video.
Yeah.
So he's always active, which is good. He's constantly getting new views, which is good. And then once in a while, one of them blows the fuck up, like insanely.
I haven't checked his channel in ages. So
dude, check it out. It's actually really interesting. That's one of the things that I actually am trying to adapt with this podcast. Get the longer form up front. Try and get some clips out. Figure out how the fuck to clickbait them, because that's my least.
Oh yeah, that's
my least favorite part.
That's something that he's really good at, isn't he? He's good with his title and thumbnails. I mean, that's super important as well. It's like it's one thing just to make a video, but like it's like a whole fucking art in itself to make a good title and thumbnail.
It's a whole art in itself to psychologically manipulate viewers.
Yeah, it really is. It took me ages to get a hang of it. I think it's like you want to be clickbaity, but without being like obviously clickbaity. It's difficult. Trying to thread that line between like trying to like sort of you basically just like pitching your video to a prospective buyer, and then hoping that they take the bait, but without being like too, like top 10 what happens next or whatever, all that sort of shit.
Top 10 what happens next gone sexual.
Yeah. Without being like, too robotic or like, inhuman.
That's gonna be the title. It's gonna be the title of my next video. Top 10 what happens next gone sexual. Featuring Jake Paul.
So I kind of feel like we're sort of out that era of YouTube now. It's a bit more it's still clickbaity, but it's a bit more I don't know. You got to be clever with your titles and thumbnails. It's difficult.
Okay, partially yes, but partially that stuff is still made and it gets the most views. It's just people with actual taste don't watch it.
Oh so yeah, I mean, all those massive channels like that do that shit. Well, I don't know, a prank channel's still a thing, probably not, right? But
the next evolution from that.
Yeah, those channels that have like the broadest possible appeal. They're gonna be like that because they're replaying to like the lowest common denominator, I guess, to put it.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. Fuck it, tell them to their face, and if they don't acknowledge it, they're fucking liars. Period. It's another thing I want to start. Honesty and entertainment. It's fine to put on a show. It's fine to create an illusion, but that illusion shouldn't last past when the art is done. Fucking stop there. Let's be much more real with one another. I think that's extremely unhealthy to give these unattainable, unrealistic expectations to people of what quote unquote the good life is, or frankly telling them that, oh yeah, I'm here to help you, when you're really just exploiting them for fucking money. Like, let's be completely fucking honest. The Shred collab's really cool. I cannot fucking imagine the amount of work that went into that. I mean, you have the actual Shred collabs of like the guitarists that people know type of shit. Those are fun. How the fuck did you manage the community collabs? How?
Don't know. I haven't done one of those in quite a while. But the hardest one I did
because
was
you like not hating your life.
Yeah, you remember the Christmas one that you did a little bit for?
Yeah.
That's still probably like in my top 5 favorite videos I've ever done. I was really pleased with how that came out. Yeah, that was sick. But those things, they're an absolute nightmare to put together. Because half of even though no matter how concrete and clear you try to make the requirements, people don't listen and they just like send you any old fucking gubbins. And sometimes people send you some really cool stuff, but they didn't quite play a different key or a different tempo or whatever. And you have to sort of manipulate it a bit to make it work. But you just need a lot of patience to do that shit. I mean, you would hate it if you don't like editing. You would not enjoy that.
Absolutely not. I mean, especially when like if I would do something like that, I would put it out there and YouTube would be like, oh no one wants to watch this.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. I would put in like a month's worth of work, and then no one would watch it.
Oh yeah, those videos don't get views. Like, my ones hardly get any views, but it's just for the viewers. So don't expect thousands of people to watch those.
Oh yeah, honestly, like there's something very wholesome about it. I do love that. Do you really think it was worth it? was it worth all that time?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but I can only manage one of maybe like one a year, two a year, maybe two a year at a push. But yeah, not regular.
Did the Shred collab with like the known guitarists, did that help you at all?
Which ones you mean?
Like the world's biggest Shred collab, when you were like basically taking the mantle from Jared for a little bit there.
Oh right, yeah. So I teamed up with someone called Cape Devon. She's like big on Instagram doing guitar stuff, and she had this idea to do sort of like these collabs for charity. For this charity called There With Care in California, they help families with sick children or something, and
they
yeah,
send
I mean,
them send them like meals and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super nice cause, and yeah, those are quite a lot of work. But like we sort of split it. She does all the like the PR and the chasing people for their files and stuff, and then everybody just sends me their files and I put them together. It's not too much work, to be honest. Like those are put together in like a day once I have them all. And like you know, the sort of ones that like Jared does as well. You know, they're not really too much work. Like if everybody did what they should have done, which they usually do. You know, sometimes people misunderstand things, but if everybody did what they were supposed to do, it doesn't really take too much work. It's literally just a case of like just syncing everything up on the timeline in your editor, and that's it, really, making it sound okay.
I remember the Shred collab that I was in for Jared's thing. That was the one where he put the wrong backing music behind Jason Richardson's
Oh yeah, I remember
solo.
that. Yeah. Ooh.
And like I feel bad for Jared, but at the same time, I feel like Jason probably prima donna'd that way too hard.
Did he make a bit of a scene about it?
He didn't make a big scene about it, but I don't know. I've heard some things. That's
all. Fair days. I mean, to me, in his defense, there's only like 15, 20 people on those. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that
you would think a mistake like that wouldn't slip through. That seems like a massive oversight.
That and also I imagine like the way Jason solos, I imagine he actually probably put in a lot of work to
for sure.
to put the actual solo to match. Even though it still matched, it sounded fucking cool. Like I didn't realize it was the wrong backing music, but I mean, knowing Jason, he probably put in a lot of work to accent the backing track.
No, I would imagine so. Yeah, I mean, millions of people see those. So,
so what was Bradley Hall before YouTube?
So I was 50% computer programmer, 50% struggling, frustrated musician.
like a lot of us, minus the programming, we don't have that patience.
Yeah. So my day job for like 6 years was a software engineer. I worked for a company that made like, it was really not exciting, just like legal accounting software.
It's sort my favorite.
Made to balance books out in solicitors' offices and stuff. You don't.
I mean, that was my plan B. That was my plan B if I wasn't going to be a musician. It was going to be legal accounting software. Was that?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my day job, and then like for years, I was a bit disillusioned with guitar. I was trying so many things. I was trying to make my own solo stuff. I was trying to play in bands. I was trying to sort of do a bit of composing. I tried like fucking everything, and like nothing really stuck. And then I was just fortunate that I dabbled with YouTube videos, and that sort of seemed to stick. Yeah. Went from there.
I gotta say that kind of seems to be the way for people who really want to focus on just taking the bull by the horns themselves instead of letting other people control their destiny. Is kind of social media is that future, right? It's kind of cool. Yeah. It's one of the freeing things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of wish I started like earlier, because I'm 32 now. So you know, I figure that a lot of the other like metal YouTube guys are probably around my age, or maybe a bit younger. I mean, how old are you? You're probably younger than me, right?
I'm 32.
Oh, you're 32 as well. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're all around the same age.
Dude, I thought you were definitely younger, without a doubt. You're 32.
I'm 32. Yeah.
No way.
It would have been great to get a start earlier, but hey ho, at least I'm here now. Because like Jared and stuff, they all started fucking years ago, didn't they?
Dude, he started like, I think like 6 years before I even got started. Like he's or something like that. He was on a long time, very long time.
I didn't even like watch guitar YouTube stuff until like just before I started. I didn't even know it was like there was a scene for it. I had no idea. I would only watch on YouTube. I would only watch like I don't know, like World of Warcraft videos. Like hardly, it's hardly anything. I didn't even know there was this whole like scene going on.
So your background in software, is that what got you interested in the whole NFT thing?
Sort of. It definitely made me understand it conceptually a little more. I mean, I still don't understand blockchain technology. I don't think anyone really
Yeah.
does. Some weird black dark art, you know, black magic.
It kind of is as part of the beauty of it, but it's like trying to explain how the internet works to someone.
Yeah, it's extremely abstract.
Yes.
No, the main thing that drew me to NFT, not that I'm like an NFT enthusiast, I have like a passing interest in it. Yeah, I always used to like collect cards and stuff when I was younger, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like fucking years ago. And the whole like NFT thing just sort of like appealed to me. It sort of like tapped into that little kid in me that liked collectibles. I sort of approached it from that angle, which is maybe a bit different to a lot of the angle that a lot of people approach it from. I just like the idea of like sort of like these limited collections of, you know, finite things that are available, and they fluctuate in value. It was just like trading cards to me, basically.
So less the software side and more the general technology of it, the trading stuff.
Yeah, and I could definitely see the potential in it. It's just a shame that it's become what it has been, what it has become. Yeah, I mean, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't thought about NFTs in months. I mean, there was a whole, they were pretty like hyped up, weren't they? Like earlier in the year. I feel like that's also sort of simmered down though. I mean, they're definitely not dead. I mean, there's still like a very avid community there. It's just not in the public eye anymore.
Well, the market crash took a massive toll on crypto, and I think crypto is now somewhat leveled out. But NFTs were the first to go because they were the newest. They were the most speculative of all of them, and that's fundamentally what the problem is with crypto right now, is just the speculation. Even if you want like NFTs to work the way you would want them to, they need to exit speculation first.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they need to come a long way before they become practical, I guess is the best word to use.
Yeah, stop using them to launder drug money. You know, fucking.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, a lot of the arguments people were using against NFTs weren't moot. I mean, I agree that NFTs aren't, in their current state, aren't good, but not for the reasons that a lot of people use. I mean, the fact that the money laundering thing, you know, you can launder money with anything, you know, not just so if it exists, you can launder money with it. And the whole like, you know, print screen JPEG thing, I know it's a bit of a meme, but like I said with the whole collectible thing, I think if you view them from that sort of lens, the whole sort of like, oh, I bought an NFT and now I own the property. Don't know. I never really thought about it like that. I don't think a lot of people do who are in the NFT space. That's I don't know. That seems like a bit of like an outside, cynical kind of perspective on it. I think people who buy an NFT and now are like, oh no, I fucking own this piece of artwork. And these are probably people who are, you know, just not really into the space. They're just sort of like dabbling in it and are not too clever, I guess.
It's partly that. I think some of them get sucked in by the collectible idea, like you were saying. But I think fundamentally there's just a whole bunch of NFTs that are just absolute garbage.
Did you especially in like the guitar and metal space, like
yes,
holy moly.
Exactly.
And did you see the Ozzy Osbourne one? That was just the most blatant, the most blatant cash grab in. Oh.
And trying to see any of the old guitar space people try and go into NFTs just so strongly demonstrates they have no fucking idea what they're dealing. Because I don't think they're just trying to just do a cash grab. I think they were told like this is the new hip place to be. This is how to stay relevant, and they had no idea what the fuck to do with it because they didn't understand it. And frankly, like, it's such an emerging technology that like to really be creative and useful with it, you actually have to put work into it, and they didn't put any fucking work into it.
Yeah. Did you see KDH's video on the Steve Vai NFT that didn't sell?
Yes.
Like, that's a perfect example of what you just said. Like his PR team were just like, "Oh, there's this hip new technology called NFTs. Why don't you make one?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, just do it, whatever." And that's the thing, like with the NFTs, is trying to distinguish between the genuine like good projects and the ones that are just there to just make a quick buck. And it's not easy. And this is how people get scammed. It's just too difficult to tell projects apart. I mean, the one project that I always that sort of got me into this stuff was the Avenged Sevenfold one. I think that's a really cool project. I still have a couple of them.
What do you like about that? That makes me very curious because, like, okay, you buy the NFT, you're a part of their secret special club, their super duper club. All right. So then what do you get for that?
I can't remember. It's fucking. I haven't been on the Discord in ages. But like, so what it is, it's like a finite set of 10,000 bats, all with a different design and shit, whatever. I mean, some people are just into like the aesthetics of it, but that's not really what interests me. It was like the perks that are attached to it. It's like the first sort of project from a band that I've seen that actually has like a tangible rewards tied to it. So depending on like what your one is, I think all bats get priority like queue jumps and stuff at gigs, and you get invites to like meetups. They had like a big meetup with the band in some bar in New York last month. It looked kind of cool. They were doing like karaoke with the band and stuff.
So I guess my question is, I can see that working for one time. Like you get one free ticket, you get access to this one album before it gets released or some shit, or like this album that we didn't release to anyone else or something like that. But then if the NFT is already purchased, how does that continue to provide revenue for the band while you're still giving out all of these perks? Because it's not a subscription. Like you bought the fucking thing. It's yours.
Yeah, so the band take I need to remember this shit. So every time an NFT is traded, bought or sold, the band take like a, I don't know, 5% cut of the Ethereum that was traded. So they continue to make like small revenue from it. But
why the fuck would you sell it? Why would you sell your NFT?
I guess like the common ones don't really provide too much value, and maybe like people are just trying to like flip them. I don't know, but like they're continually traded. If you check out their OpenSea page, they're continually traded like all the time. So I don't know. People do different things with them. If you get like a rare one, so some of them have like rare perks, like once a year you get like free shit from the band. You get like one-on-one meetups with them and stuff like that.
You can definitely tell. Like you can definitely tell this is fucking geared towards gamers. Rare perks. The two words are just like we play MMOs, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then they call it like airdrops as well, like airdropping shit.
Oh god,
gamer. It's the whole thing is a bit cringe. Like I definitely admit that. I'm not too involved in it. I just sort of like a passing interest in it. Sometimes I sort of like swing by and see what's going on.
I think it ups the fun factor. Like that to me, at very least, seems like okay, they're hip, they're with it. Like they understand the culture around this, so that makes sense. I'm just trying to like. I still don't know. Like I can see the common ones being passed around for sure.
Yeah.
I still don't know, and maybe just because I'm not used to being in the collectible space.
Yeah.
I would think if you have a rare one from a band that you love, if Dream Theater did this exact same thing, and I got a hold of a rare one, and I get all these cool fucking perks out of it, why the fuck would I ever sell that? I'm getting all these perks for a one-time purchase.
Yeah. Well, if you're a super fan, you would probably hold on to that for life. But some people are just in it for the money. So for example, if for some reason like the project like skyrockets in value, and obviously like the ones that'll be of highest value will be like these super rare ones, and people will probably be prepared to pay a lot of money. So if some people are just holding them until they have the opportunity to sell them for like a big profit.
And I guess just to clarify, the cool part about this NFT is there's no artwork directly attached to the NFT exclusively. Like when you buy this, you're not just buying a fucking bat. It goes, you know, like you're not just buying a song. You're buying a membership that sometimes has art attached to it, but it's not just like, oh, I bought this picture. No, you bought a receipt that claims that you own this picture. You know, like, but what you bought with Avenged Sevenfold, I'm clarifying for the audience. What you bought with Avenged Sevenfold is access to exclusive shit that other people aren't going to get. Sometimes that it looks different depending upon what it is.
Yeah, I mean, props to the band. It was a super ballsy move. I mean,
totally.
They completely like divided their fan base over it, and I totally understand. Like, I would be pissed. Like, if I wasn't interested at all in, I don't know, crypto or NFTs and all that shit, and I just like wanted to just like, oh, why can't you just do like a Patreon or like a normal fan club or something? I totally understand that argument, but I also respect the band for trying to do something new and push the boundaries, because the metal genre in general is just, metal and rock, I guess, it's just very sort of like soaked in tradition, and like, things must be like this, and it's not really a genre that encourages forward thinking, really, is it?
Fuck no. That's actually you were talking about you wanted to throw out a video idea of things that are wrong with rock and metal.
Yeah.
And Finn is going to be releasing his video on that soon, and sorry, I saw him post about it on Twitter, and I was like, okay, I'm stealing that video idea. Like, I told him to his face, like, hey, I'm stealing this. but yeah, we already have our own things with that. Actually, by the time this podcast is released, mine will have already been out, and it's basically promoting the stuff that I want to fucking explore in this podcast. Honestly, it's like his is definitely going to be more towards the business side and the culture side, which is fine. Mine is like the idea of the rock star as a lifestyle needs to die. It needs to fucking die. And if there's the worst part of rock being kept in the past, and why I think the rudiment of why it's so cringy is because they created the rock star, they lost that status to hip hop and pop, and now they want to get it back so bad. They want to be in the spotlight. They want to be the ones that are getting all the adulation. Why? Just so you can feel fucking good about yourself? Just so you can be like, yeah, I am the best. The best at what? The best at getting attention? Who fucking cares? Now is your opportunity to divorce yourself from that. You have been freed from this burden of being a secular fucking hedonist and just chasing satisfaction anywhere it goes. Like, fuck it. Like, actually try to create something of substance now. You have the opportunity to grow. This is not we're dead. This is your opportunity to be a fucking phoenix and completely reform what rock means. Bring it back to, I don't know, some of its fucking roots with authenticity would be a huge help. Instead of trying to put on these airs of, yeah, fucking we're the baddest motherfucker you've ever seen. Fuck you. We're not dumb. We're not stupid. Be honest. Fucking God. It bothers me. And obviously, like what doesn't bother me, right?
You okay, Mike? I think you might need another drink. Go on.
I had one fry short in my fucking Happy Meal, and now I'm just absolutely losing it the rest of the day. But that's something I absolutely want to explore further. And I guess that's why also, like, we haven't fully decided on the name yet, but I'm 90% sure I want to call it What Makes an Artist.
Okay.
And trying to contrast that against, like, I have this own personal dichotomy. It lies on a spectrum, and it's artist and clout chaser. And the clout chasers are poisoning our culture so fucking hard right now. But no one is ever pure artist. No one's ever 100% pure clout chaser. But where is the happy place to live? Where do you fall in that dichotomy? And are you being authentic to yourself as far as how you're expressing yourself through art? Are you being authentic to your audience and trying to give them something that makes them happy and helps them in their lives? I would say in your case with YouTube, I think you are. I don't think you're doing this because you're like, I want to be fucking famous. I want to fuck bitches. I think you genuinely get a lot of love out of what you're doing with the videos. I think it absolutely shows in what you're doing. And I'm going to take a guess and think that you get a certain amount of satisfaction that people actually like watching it. They enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I think what you said about being authentic, I think it definitely shows through your content. I mean, people can see right through you. I mean, no matter how much, how long you spend on a video or piece of content or whatever you want to call it, or even a song, people can, your audience will know. They know you better than you do. They'll know if you're being authentic or not.
I think that will about do it for today, man. But
Okay.
Brad, or is he Brad or Bradley? Which do you prefer?
Whatever. Oh, Brad's, there's less syllables, less, less air, less air to expend.
Exactly. I have a finite amount of life, right?
Yeah.
But dude, it was awesome having you on. Thank you so much. It was an absolute honor. Seriously.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Cheers.